Hi everyone, it's Christy. Welcome back. We're working on the full deck challenge, so we're up to the 5 of hearts today. So I gathered up a few materials that I thought we might want to use. And if you've been following along, you know that the first thing we do is, because the playing card is so shiny and slippery that gluing stuff to it won't really adhere. But if you glue a piece of tissue paper to the front of the card, it gives some truth for you to be able to glue things. And because the tissue paper is so thin, it just it's easy for the glue stick is enough glue to hold the thin paper to it. So I'm just taking a piece of tissue paper. You could also use a napkin would work, even toilet paper. Doesn't have to be, anything expensive. Use whatever you have. Alright, so easy peasy, glued that down. Let me cap my glue. And now you could trim that with scissors. A lot of people do. But another way is to take a sanding block and just lightly go around the edges. You can see it's already starting to come apart. I'm just going around the first time just to work on those larger areas, and then I come back and I get the corners, because the corners are a little bit trickier, see? Then I just finish off any places that are still hanging on a little bit. Alright, so there's a spot in the middle there, and it just falls right off when it's ready. So I leave the back of the card. Some people cover it up, but I have on occasion covered it up, especially if it was like an old card, worn out, kind of maybe not that attractive or something. But as you can see, it now makes the face of the card, it just kind of clouds it a little bit, pushes it into the background. And I thought I would put this piece of green scrapbook paper. It's one of my India papers. I order some special papers from India. Really, really love the feel and quality of them. They're all like fabric. They're so silky. So I'm gonna just slap some glue on the back of this. Easy peasy. Anyone can do this. If you've watched other people doing the full deck challenge, they will do a lot of complicated things with different special media and spraying things. I like to keep it simple. If it's not simple, then it's not that fun to me. I appreciate the people that enjoy those things, but it's not for everyone. Okay, so as you can see, I've got some hangover around that. I've been trying to keep part of the playing card showing, just to show the face, part of the face of the card. And now I am gonna tackle this with scissors. I could do the same thing here and use the sanding block, but for the sake of time, I'm just gonna cut this. And also because it's wet, the scissors will probably do a little bit job since the glue is wet, and I have wet on this overhanging part. That one I actually didn't get trimmed quite as close as I should. Let me go over that a second time. A little bit I went crooked here. I'm just straightening out a couple places. Okay. And the final home stretch. That's pretty close. These are my special non-stick scissors from Fisker. I have a link to these in the description below. They're non-stick. The black coating on them is non-stick, so that you can cut through tape and glue and it doesn't gum up your scissors. Alright, and this is just my glue pad, so when it gets gluey, I just tear off that sheet and carry on. So this, each of my cards, I've been putting a Bible verse on it. This one is 1 John 5:3. Loving God means keeping his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome. So I had a piece of red scrap paper, so I'm going to glue this verse onto my torn scrap. All right. And I just use my glass bottle for a brayer. Helps push out any air bubbles and makes sure that the glue is adhered well to the surface. Okay, I'm probably going to put this I'm probably going to put this up toward the top, so maybe I'll just go ahead and glue that. Do I want it off the top? Trying to decide if I want some green showing above it or not. And let me hear your answers. You tell me. Speak loud. I can hear you. I can almost hear you. Come on. I'm going to go with just below so that it shows a little bit of green above the top. I just think that helps tie it in together. And you know what? This one, I might want to use something a little bit stronger than because it's going to overhang, it will get a little bit of extra tension on it. So I'm going to use my Fabrifix glue, clear silicone glue. This just has a little bit stronger hold to it so that, oops, let me make sure I get this right. I always put my fingers on the part that I'm not supposed to glue, and so right now I've got my thumb over the area that's going to overhang the card so that I don't glue too much. All right. All right. Very good, very good. Let me cap that for just a moment while I decide on the placement. I grabbed some little white flowers that have a red bling. Since this is a hearts card, I thought, well, let me just go with a red theme for this. I have some of these with different colors. And I have a couple different sizes too. I have some small ones and larger ones. So let me just play with. I was kind of thinking maybe put a big one in the middle. I'm kind of thinking like that because it's 5 for the number 5. I was thinking if I did 5, I had 5 big ones also. I was prepared to do 5 big ones, but now that I look at it, I think, let me just play with it the other way one more time. What would it look like if I used all big ones? I don't know, that could work too. That could work too. Boy, decisions. All right, I can hear you. I can hear you. Some of you are saying one way. Some of you are saying the other one. Some of you think the big ones look better. That's tempting. One more look, and then I'll decide. I think I'm going to go with the smaller ones. I kind of like having the green show a little bit. Tough call though. That was a tough call. This is one thing about making the videos. I have to just make quick decisions, and forces me to just decide without hemming and hawing about which way to go. All right. Stick that in the middle. Got my camera down kind of low. I keep bumping into it, so I apologize. I want a little bit more glue than that. because I want the glue to go out to the leaves a little bit. I feel like I might have a glue blob in there. There we go. And yes, I am overlapping that flower onto the red surface so that it kind of ties things together. There we go. Oh, and now my glue is erupting, so it's gonna just keep coming out. Lovely. Squeeze it and squeeze it because nothing's coming out, and then because you've squeezed it so much, a whole bunch starts coming out. Alright. Trying to get the placement of these. One thing with the silicone glue, it's fast grabbing, but it does give you a little bit of time to adjust things if you need to reposition something. I'm going to cap that glue because it's erupting now. That ought to be fun the next time I open it. Okay, so there we... Oh, I got to punch my hole. I've been punching a hole in the bottom of these. So I have one of the cards, like the advertising card that came in the deck. I'm just using that. I punched a hole in the advertising card so that I can use it as a template and make sure I get the rest of the cards all punched in the same spot, more or less. That is, at least I don't have to measure or figure out the middle. Alright, so there we go. That's card number 5 of hearts. So easy peasy, anyone can do it, and you don't have to have the same exact ingredients that I do. Just hope this kind of stimulates your creativity and gives you some ideas for something that you can do at home that you don't have to have a lot of fancy supplies. If you don't have the flowers here, just cut out some flowers out of a magazine, or draw some flowers and cut them out, or whatever. I just happened to have these left over from another project. I did a daisy not a scrapbook, a daisy journal, and so I had some of these daisy flowers left over from that. So, alright, well, thank you for watching. I appreciate you spending a little bit of time here. As always, I love you, God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.